A mysterious tale of enigma and intrigue, the realm of urban legends often captivates our imagination with tales that straddle the line between reality and the supernatural. Among these legends, the story of Mothman stands out as one of the most intriguing and perplexing. Emerging from the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, during the tumultuous years of the late 1960s, the Mothman legend has become a subject of fascination, inspiring both fear and wonder in those who encounter its enigmatic narrative. Welcome to Let's Be Briefed. I'm Sydney,
I'm Sarah.
and this week we're talking about Mothman.
Yay! I feel like we talked about that we should have done it earlier.
I know, I think I had this on my list and I replaced it with someone else.
Oh, yeah, that is what happened.
You are the one who introduced me to Mothman, actually. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, we were talking about it before we started recording, but you introduced me to Mothman, and then I had a Mothman face.
I didn't know I introduced you. I forgot about that, actually. I thought you were familiar before, but
I feel like I had heard Mothman, but I didn't know
oh,
anything about Mothman, and then we went deep.
yeah. Mothman's near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, very. So, I guess we'll start with like where the Mothman legend came from. And it was on November 15th, 1966. Two young couples, Linda and Roger Scarberry and Stephen Mary Mallet, were joyriding in a black 57 Chevy on the outskirts of Point Pleasant. And they were in like an abandoned property called the TNT area, which was like a World War II munitions factory and power plant. And I guess there's like 100 concrete shaped igloo buildings where explosives were stored.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like it was like this like abandoned government. I mean, I guess maybe not government, but like probably like honestly like a super fun site. Like they probably couldn't do anything with it because it was so heavily like
Oh,
polluted with like explosives. And like
yeah.
you'd have to clean all of that up to use it.
Wait,
But
why were they just hanging out there?
it's like a lover's lane. Or
Oh,
like
okay.
young kids go there to mess around at night.
Yeah, gotcha.
But it was empty. And like kids would go out there and joyride around and drink and like drag race. And it
Oh,
was like also a lover's lane, which I can't imagine doing lover's lane stuff with another couple. So I hope they were just out there like riding
yeah,
around.
right.
So I guess Mothman basically like chased their car down the road,
Oh, yeah,
screeching
right.
at them.
Yeah.
And Mothman, as described by the legend and eyewitness accounts, is typically like a large humanoid creature with some distinctive features. He's like 7 to 10 feet tall and has like a
Yeah.
human body with broad chest and shoulders, and his limbs are like long and slender, and he has wings, and his wingspan can be like up to 10 feet. And they're
Wow.
like bat wings, more like leathery or feathered, but like more like leathery, I guess.
Yeah.
And he has red eyes that glow that are like the size of baseballs.
The
At
size of
least,
baseballs.
yeah, that's what I've heard. Like
Okay.
glowing red eyes, and he's like
Yeah.
dark brown, grayish brown, like muted earthy tone, and he's like tough and leathery. Which, why didn't they call him Batman? Like, why is he a moth when a lot of these things could also apply to bats? Like, he has more like
Uh,
bat wings, right?
Batman's already
A thing.
exists.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose.
You don't want to call it after a beloved superhero.
That's true. And I think his feet have like talons. Like, he's got like.
Yeah.
I should have included pictures, but like, he has like fucked up feet.
Right. I know what he looks like. Isn't Jeepers Creepers movie
Is
based
that
on him?
Mothman?
Yeah, I thought so. Because there's a scene where he like chases the car and it looks like what they had described and stuff.
Oh, so like maybe it's
Yeah,
tied in.
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. If I saw this, I'd be freaking out. And I think it
Yeah,
makes noises, like screechy bat noises,
yeah, I think
kind
it
of.
does. Like,
Yeah. I was picturing like
like,
sonar noises. Like,
oh,
I can't make a sonar sound with my mouth, but
yeah, we are not sonar
like
equipped.
chirping, clicking
Really?
stuff. I thought
I
so.
I
Or
thought
like
you
a
like hissed and
screech.
stuff, or
Oh.
yeah, or screeched,
Like a
like.
goose? What if it was just a goose?
Some people say it's a owl.
Yeah, yeah, I'll get to what it could
Okay.
be, but
Okay.
yeah. But some of the like most notable sightings after this first depiction, I guess, or like first sighting were also in Point Pleasant between 1966 and 1967. And like eyewitnesses like consistently create this picture like that it's not something real. Like it defies
Oh.
the norms of the natural world and has like he's huge and obviously West Virginia is pretty like rural.
Yeah.
So I feel like he would really stand out.
But like could hide in the trees and stuff.
Right, right. And I guess like when people see him, like they're like overwhelmed with the fear or like
Oh.
foreboding like something bad's gonna happen or like he's a harbinger of impending doom, which if I saw anything I couldn't explain, I think I would feel a sense of doom. So I don't
Right.
maybe Mothman just has more doom and
Yeah,
gloom, but
maybe. Yeah, if I saw something like this, I would be so scared. Like
I know.
it doesn't even have to do anything. It could just stand there and I'd be like, what
I'd
the
be like, I'm
fuck?
gonna die.
Yeah, like I don't know, but maybe it is more, but I don't think it's like unwarranted.
Right. And there were also actually grave diggers that came up before the Lover's Lane TNT area that said that they saw something fly over a grave while they were digging it. And they're like
Oh.
actually the first people to like they're like technically the first like Mothman sighting, but they didn't say they saw it until after the
Oh,
newspaper reported about the couples.
right. That's crazy.
Yeah. And like a lot of people think that Mothman is like a bad omen because in 1967 there were a bunch of like Mothman sightings and then the Silver Bridge collapsed and killed 46 people. So like everyone has this thing in their mind that when Mothman appears something bad's going to happen. But this was the only actual like bad thing I found happen. Like the
Oh.
only thing that I saw that happened that was tied to Mothman, so I don't know if it happened. N equals one, like, is that
Right.
really a pattern?
No. N equals one is not anything.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, people do think that though, but I guess he could have not even, he
Right.
could have just been there and not done anything.
I know. Also, what if he was just like a spy? Like, what if he was
Ooh.
actually like on a jetpack or something and we just don't know? This is the 60s. Or just like a weird guy dressing up. Like,
Oh yeah, on stilts.
yeah, or like doing
Yeah,
something weird.
like
Like, it could
classic
just be.
Scooby-Doo or something
Right,
chasing off
right. It's just a
people.
man in a mask.
Right, yeah. Could be.
Yeah. And he was also seen 55 times in Chicago in 2017, but I couldn't find like a catastrophic event that like followed that.
I didn't know 55 times,
Yeah, 55.
like
I think
throughout
like
the
in
year.
one I think it was like in a week span or something like
Yeah.
55 people saw him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it
But
was like a week or two and then he was
yeah.
gone.
But
Wow.
55 is kind of a lot. Like 55
Yeah.
separate
But in
incidents. He
Chicago,
was
there's
like
so many people.
flying around Willis Tower, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah, it's just chilling up in the air around the
Yeah.
buildings.
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
don't think,
don't
yeah, I don't
know.
think anything crazy happened.
No, because we both lived in that area at that time. I didn't even know Mothman was there. That's the thing. How do we not know Mothman was there? I like lived near there,
I think
and
I
I didn't
heard,
know. Oh, I did
I heard
not.
Mothman. Maybe I heard it after the fact, I guess.
Right. I thought we discovered that when we
I mean, oh, yeah, when we
like a
talked
year
about it.
later.
Yeah, because, I mean, we didn't live downtown,
Right.
so we didn't hear till later.
I
Oh, can
can't
you
believe
imagine if we saw Mothman? If we like went downtown to like hang out, and if we saw him, that would be crazy.
I know. Like, what would we do?
Freak out.
Cry? I don't know. But so that's kind of like the story of Mothman, and it's kind of been blown into a whole thing. But like, really, there's not much there. I feel like it's just been like, oh, people saw him, this bridge collapsed, but like, also the bridge collapse probably could have been, uh, poor engineering. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing that happened on the bridge, though. It just fell over, but like, that does happen.
Yeah, it can happen. Although usually it's like overloaded or something.
Right. Well, there were 46 people on the bridge to die, so it must
That's
have had a
true.
lot of
It might
cars
have.
on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been too much stress and then it just gave out.
And obviously, there could be some explanations like owls, sandhill cranes. That's like
Oh.
the big ones that people say that's just like a big bird. But like a sandhill crane has like a long skinny neck. They're not that
Yeah.
big. Like we had
No.
them in Wisconsin. They're not that big. They don't have giant glowing red eyes.
Right. And like their face isn't big or anything. Like,
No, like they have a very like slender neck and
yeah.
small
They're
head.
not 7 feet tall, are they?
I don't think so. I thought maybe four. Like I've seen them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never looked
Right.
at it and said, "Dang, that's a man-sized bird. That's bigger than a man-sized bird."
Right, yeah, they are not. But owls too, I mean, if owls are flying, people might think they see legs or
Right.
something
And
like.
I think owls' eyes also glow in the dark, and they do have
Yeah.
big eyes. I mean, don't glow in the dark. I think they're like yellow, reflect yellow, maybe red, but like,
I think they more yellow,
right,
but they
like
do have
an
giant wingspan.
yeah, like a cat's eye.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking, okay, if it's following your car and you have red tail lights, are you just seeing
Uh,
the red reflection? But then it's
right.
like, okay, but like you would probably know that, right?
I feel like you would be able to see it's like an owl's face in the taillights too,
Right.
like
And no one's
or
ever
the
said
beak.
beak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. No one has said
Plus,
beak.
owls aren't that big. I don't think.
Um,
I swear I've never looked at a bird and said that's huge, even when they are big.
oh, I saw one bird at Holiday World. Actually, there was a bird exhibit or whatever, like a guy showing off
Oh.
birds, and some of those vultures.
Oh, yeah, I guess it could be a vulture, maybe, but do vultures live in.
Um,
But they have little heads.
yeah, they have little heads. Owl's head makes sense, but I don't know if
And,
they get
like, their
that big.
feet. Like, I guess it does have, like, some bird like qualities, but why are people saying leathery? Because I've never seen a leathery owl.
Right. What's 200 centimeters?
Wasn't 100 centimeters a meter? So 6 feet ish.
Yeah. That's
That's
the
pretty big.
biggest bird's wingspan, owl's wingspan, but it's an Asian owl. So it wouldn't
Oh,
even be, but that's like the
here.
biggest one. And they're saying 10 feet for Mothman.
Yeah, but are people good at judging
Yeah,
size? Because, like, I can't tell you. I mean, I can tell, like, small increments. Like, I could tell you what an eighth of an inch looks like that. But I don't know that I could look at something large
You wouldn't be able to tell if it's bigger than you though, like your
I
wingspan.
guess that's true.
Like I think you could see that, like either it's bigger or smaller than you, and if it's